Here we go. Friday night edition of the Knicks postgame live presented by Manscaped. Knicks head into Philly after a debacle against the Hawks at home. Philly without Joel Embiid and no James Harden, so you figure the Knicks would have a light time getting things back on track, but that would not be the case because Tyrese Maxey and an undermanned 6 team would come through with some fight, some tenacity, some passion. And the Knicks found themselves in a dogfight late in the fourth quarter. But desperation has finally hit Tom Thibodeau. And I truly think Tom Thibodeau was coaching for his life because he was searching for some answers, and they delivered in Cam Reddish, Obi Toppin, Thibs. Hell froze over tonight for Thibs. He was so desperate tonight, he did anything. And his closing lineup of Jalen Brunson, RJ Barrett, Cam Reddish, Obi Toppin, Julius Randle delivered, and the Knicks held on to win 106-104. It's Knicks postgame live presented by Manscaped. So to everybody in the chat once again, hit that thumbs up button for you boys. I was late tonight. I had to turn down a pacemaker, JD, because this is one of the more wacky games that I have ever experienced as a Knicks fan. And this team never ceases to amaze me, man, because this team came out lifeless, couldn't shoot the ball. They were turning the ball over. Julius leading the way in that department as he's picking up where he left off from the Hawks game. 21 turnovers for the Knicks, 14 in the first half alone. They had the same amount of turnovers they average in a game in the first half alone. Disgusting ball security by the Knicks. You had the Grimes situation. Grimes started. As we found out earlier today, Grimes started. No Fournier. Grimes didn't have it. But this team was so lifeless. The third quarter, they get outscored 30-16. And, bro, at the 6-minute mark, when this team found themselves down by 12. No, this team found themselves down by 12 by about the 10-minute mark. I honestly thought that had this team lost this game, Tom Thibodeau would have been fired. That's how bad this team looked. I'm telling you right now. I thought this was going to be Tibbs' last game. This team was so lifeless. They were down by 12 points in the fourth. They had mailed it in just about. And the rotation issues were still there. You had Cam, who was the hero of the first half, doesn't get in until 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter. So at 6-minute mark, you see Cam come in, and then Tibbs, hell has frozen over, closes with Julius and Obi, and they would go on to a 16-5 run to finally take the lead. And hold on, man. 106-104. The closing lineup of Brunson, RJ, Cam, Obi, and Julius get the job done tonight, man. Get the job done, bro. Unbelievable. Man. I'm telling you, I felt like this guy was coaching for his job. The amount of lineup changes that he made in this game, searching for a spark. Meanwhile, his spark was on the bench the whole time, waiting to get in to guard Maxey, because Cam had Maxey locked up, basically. But nevertheless, they got it done, man.
I mean, I don't even know how to feel about this game. Or I don't know. I don't know that we've learned a lot more about this team, because there's so many ways to look at this. A Sixers fan will probably tell you, look, everything you guys needed to do, and we didn't have Embiid and Harden.
Right.
You can look at that. You can look at, the final score. You can look at the fact that we should have beaten this team by many more. And this game should not have played out this way. And yet, it's a positive in many ways, because I think tonight's game at certain spots illustrated to you which direction this organization and this head coach should go, for the simple fact that It does not mean that by going that direction, the team is going to automatically become a 50-win team or 60-win team or a contender. It just means that by going in that direction, there's just a higher ceiling to what the end result could be. Because although you could get mistakes from an Obi Toppin, you can get mistakes from a Cam Reddish, you can get mistakes from a Quentin Grimes, you can see what the other end of it can be when you just give him confidence. Right, you see Obi now being a very confident player from the 3-point arc, and you're right, CP. I don't know that it would have been tonight. That's a hot take by you. I like it though. I like it. You went right out the window.
Yeah.
So, but you definitely got the sense there with the different rotations, the different combinations. I think the biggest one is the fact that he went Obi and Randle.
Yeah. Or how about the fact that he even started Grimes, bro? Because remember, after the Hawks game, me and you were like, Grimes is the logical move to start, but he's not ready. He just came in. He just came back.
I don't care that he started tonight. He wasn't ready.
He wasn't.
You saw it tonight. He wasn't ready, and they still did it. You know, and the fact that happened, and the Obi Randle thing for the stretch, because even if we got it, you got a little bit of it, you always think Obi Thibs is gonna go right back to Hartenstein. He's gonna go maybe even go more to Sims. Like he's just gonna go with that traditional center power forward combination.
Yeah.
So I don't even know how to grade Thibs, CP. I don't know how we even look at it, right? Because even we won, but even the coach. We talk about Cam Reddish being a roller coaster. This coach is a roller coaster.
This coach is a roller coaster, man.
So I mean, listen. At the end of the day, they won the game. And there's a lot that they need to work on. And I think the interesting thing is, CP, they're playing in less than 24 hours.
Yep.
So what is going to be tomorrow, right? Versus a very good team. You're going back at the Garden. They also are playing tonight.
Celtics.
The Celtics on national television against the Bulls. I think they beat the Bulls on national TV tonight. And they'll be going from Boston to New York overnight. I think we're going to be looking forward to immediately what tomorrow's going to bring in terms of the rotations. What will he learn from tonight? Was it because Mitch was hurt and he was forced to? Or is this a coach that's going to say, listen, I got to keep trying things until they work out? So, good win at the end of the day, but a lot to still be seen from this team.
Cardiac Knicks, man. And the reason why I felt like that was because it's when you string together like horrendous performances. Like you take that Hawks game, that's strike one. You know what I'm saying? If you come back with a lackluster performance like this, they were down by 12 in the fourth quarter. I mean, the Sixers were a one-man team, bro. It was Maxey, period. And there was no Cam. Like you had Cam locking them up in the first half. Don't even go back to Cam. So what I'm saying is, you take that Hawks loss and then you get embarrassed like this against this team. You're on the plank.
You jump from strike, like you said, the Hawks is strike one, and the front office can find a way to justify that because they can say, hey, listen, man, it's Trae Young, it's DeJounte Murray, like let's give it more time. It's early. But the way that they played and the way that things panned out, to go against this Sixers team undermanned like this and get 20 plus turnovers, play the way that you played, show no life, right? Like this is not, you're actually playing worse basketball versus a team that you're better than in terms of the team that was actually playing on the court.
Correct.
And you lose double digits to that team, you jump from strike one to strike three.
That's a fact.
You don't, it's not strike two and then let's go. No, you jump from strike one to strike three, because when that happens, and because it happened early to CP, like this happened early where they were down like this. And in terms of like just the back and forth and not be able to pull away from this team early. Sometimes, man, and with some of the things that have happened over social media regarding Quickly and some other things over the last 24 hours, you start to think, has Thibodeau lost the team?
Yeah.
Has he lost the locker room? Like that's the energy that starts to build. And you start like, players are human, CP. So I guarantee you, I don't care what nobody says. Players themselves have their opinions. Don't tell me that players themselves don't think they feel they know what the rotation should be or what players should be playing or what players shouldn't. I guarantee you when these things happen, these players are on the bench and Cam is probably sitting at the end of the bench pissed off. Like, I know I should be playing right now. Like, how do you go, okay, just because Fournier got demoted, right? Cam has that great second quarter. And just because Fournier was first in line off the bench from your rotation, you stick to that script in the third quarter, and Fournier goes to the game before Cam. I thought at the very least, I mean, there could have been a lot of things you could have said. You could have said, wait, maybe Cam should have started the second half, right? Or you could have said, well, Cam should be one of the first guys off the bench. But he still stuck to the script, which I call template coaching. This is why. And he goes to Fournier first before Cam. When things like that happen and you lose a game like tonight, players lose confidence in your ability to adjust. Because when people look at coaches like Tyronn Lue, coaches that will adjust quarter to quarter, they'll switch rotations half to half, and you are in this position and you don't make those adjustments, it's just natural for just, the locker room to just lose confidence in you. So
turn on you.
But he ended well. Right? He ended well in terms of making those adjustments. So give him credit for that. But now for me to believe that tonight is real, you got to do it right. You got to do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
And if Mitch is playing tomorrow.
And Mitch got hurt. Now, that's another game story. Mitch did get hurt early in the first half.
And if Mitch is playing tomorrow, then that begs to, the question of, was just this an aberration tonight, or will we start to see some of these creative lineup, rotations?
Yeah, no question about it. Got to shout out Obi, give him his props. 13 of his 17 points in that fourth quarter. And the funny thing is there was once upon a time when fans were irate that Obi was stuck in the corner. But as it turns out, that's where we need him, because he's arguably our best three-point shooter right now, especially from the corner. 3 for 6 from downtown tonight. He even took one from damn near Steph Curry range. I was like, yo, chill. That was early in the fourth quarter when things were kind of breaking down. But good job by him. Brunson found him for a 3. You had Cam find him for a couple threes. Julius as well. And then on the flip side, where you were really trying to see how things were going to go on the defensive end and rebounding, thought he and Julius, did a commendable job. Yes, no Embiid. That was big. That was a big break for them. But they played with pride, and they held it down. And I even thought Julius had a big rebound to close the game as well. So give credit to them for, working together in the front court. I thought Brunson, you could tell he was tight at the refs down the stretch. He was playing angry. Brunson caught a nice and one off the floater. He picked it up in the second half as well. I thought RJ had an excellent third quarter. And, those guys brought it home, man. Closing lineup, Brunson, RJ, Cam, Obi, and Julius.
How's Obi looking like a good pick, CP? He looking like he's looking okay?
If he plays. But that's the thing. This was one of his first games that he closed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, when pressure about to bust pipes, I guess anything is possible, man.
It's shocking that he is actually the Knicks' best three-point shooter right now. He is at this point at 46.7% from three, and it's just so contagious, his energy, and just the ability to. He had some big shots tonight, man. He had 13 points in the fourth quarter.
Big shots.
Like that 3 that he hit from like the side 3, the corner.
Big shots.
I mean that, and it's just like with a hand in his face. Like, Obi has one of the things with Obi is, when his shot is contested, he sometimes, the shot doesn't look good. And when you start to hit contested shots for a player in an area that he's needed to show improvement, that indicates to me that his mechanics is getting better, has gotten better, but also his confidence is where it needs to be.
Yeah.
Because when players now get the feeling that even if I am defended, I'm going to make this shot, this is starting to become, I'm not saying 46% is going to be, the ending result throughout an 82 game season, but there's definitely some definite improvement that I think will sustain from the 3-point line. And I don't know what position you find for him, but he's making a case, whether it's the 5, whether it's the 4. I don't know about the 3, but whatever, he needs to play, CP.
Yeah.
He needs to play. Like, you have to find, and he again in the first half, what'd he get? Like,
he didn't have a good first half. He had 4 points.
He has 6 minutes.
Yeah.
Only one shot. He had two. He hit
shot.
both his free throws. 4 points, one shot, 2 free throws. He only took one shot. He made it.
Yeah.
But 6 minutes, like we got to find a way to get him more involved, especially when we're not playing well. So
the only path is less minutes for Julius. Right in the second quarter, I think Julius came back in with about 6 minutes left. About 6 minutes left, roughly. With a healthy Mitch and Hartenstein there, that I don't know. That's the only way is less minutes for Julius, who came out the gates as the spin over, the Tasmanian Randle.
Oh man, bro.
and picked up right where he left off Wednesday night against the Hawks. So.
When the game started, oh man, when the game started,
Randle's back.
Was it? I think it was the first possession. Think about this: Quentin Grimes is starting, right? So it's the first possession. Julius turns it over, and because of where he was positioned, it led to Grimes picking up a foul.
Yeah.
So Grimes picks up his first foul within the first minute of the game.
Mm-hmm.
And immediately I'm thinking, yep, Grimes is going to pick up another foul, because if he picked up a non-maxi foul,
a cheap one,
a non-maxi foul, he picks it up before the game even starts.
Mm-hmm.
He's naturally going to get one foul on Maxi within the next 3-4 minutes.
That was obvious.
Because Maxi's an aggressive player, and that's exactly what happened.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you do now? You just took a player, you took him off his rhythm. Now he has to go to the bench early, and with Tom Thibodeau, a young player, you go out the game within the first 3-4 minutes, it might be a long night for you already.
Yeah.
Right? So that first foul from there, to me, Quentin Grimes' night was over, because I knew he was going to pick up a second, and then he went out, off the bench. And then he has the 6 turnovers, and I'm just thinking, man, CP's going to say, we don't need that.
We don't need Julius. That, man. That's classic Randle's back, man. Forcing way too much, man.
It's tough. He goes 6 of 13, so just under 50%. I'm telling you, man, the 3-point is gone.
It's gone.
1 of 5.
It's gone.
Gone. Bro.
One of the worst spot up shooters in the NBA right now.
I'm telling you, long term, they're gonna have to figure that out, and I hope Grimes can play well at the 2 spot if he continues to be the starter, because he's just not. I mean, between him and RJ right now, they're not cutting it from 3, and you see why, even with an undermanned Sixers team, if the starting 5 is not able to hit 3-point shots, they're gonna be in trouble in a lot of games to start out.
They still shot 29% from 3 tonight. 27, correction, even better. 27% from 3 tonight, despite Obi's heroics. 27% from 3, 20 turnovers. Luckily, they shot 85% from the stripe to make it a little bit respectable. But man, this team can't shoot, man.
You put it on a lot. We talked about bringing Brunson to alleviate the pressure on the rest of the players. These players are putting a lot of pressure on Brunson.
Yes.
Because what's going to happen, CP, is we're going to start to look at Brunson as the savior in these situations. Mm-hmm. And when he doesn't come through, naturally, we're going to feel like, man, should we have given him the money?
Right.
Should we, you just naturally going to go into that space on evaluating him because of the pressure that these guys are putting on him. This is why around the NBA, when superstars are in teams, people are always evaluating the supporting cast, because you put a lot of pressure on your superstar when the rest of your teammates cannot come through.
Yeah.
And this is why it's a make or miss league, because we can play 2K and say, well, Brunson's here, so that means RJ's going to get open shots and he's going to make them. Oh my God, Randle's going to get so much spacing and he's going to make his shots. Well, he's not making them. There's only so much Brunson can do to get these guys the shots they need. They need to start making them.
And see, with the issues that they have with shooting right now, it's even more important why their defense has to be top notch, which is why guys like Grimes and Cam and even Quick, like you need to get turnovers. They need to play like a bootleg Memphis Grizzlies right now, a bad half court team that but is super efficient in transition, can get out and run. You utilize RJ, you utilize Obi, you utilize Cam, because in the half court, things are kind of ugly right now, man. If you're relying on Julius, especially with your starters, if you're relying on Julius and RJ to get you some good shooting, some good shots and rhythm, you're gonna be in trouble. Now RJ had it going tonight. I liked RJ's game tonight overall. I thought he had a solid game. But the way this team shoots, you have to try to get easier buckets, and that's in transition. You got to play good defense.
And that's why you got to get the guys that are shooting decently. You got to get them more playing time. You know, with Obi. I mean, I just looked at it. I couldn't believe it. You know, it seemed like, because of the way the game ended, it just felt like Obi played like 30 minutes tonight. And I look at the box score, he barely hit the 20-minute mark.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he hit the 20-minute mark and 17 points in 20 minutes. And it's just, you know, they got to find a way to get him more minutes. Cam Reddish himself is now, you know, shooting a career high, you know, from 3 at 40%, and he's shooting 52% from the field. So you got to find a way to give him more minutes.
Yeah.
So, you know, let's see how they play tomorrow. It's going to be interesting, but this team, there's so much still unknown with what this team is, because, and it's crazy, CP, because the team is 4-4, but like you mentioned, I don't know that I've ever seen a team that is at 500, or, you know, before tonight they were a game below 500, and yet the head coach has this much pressure.
It's pressure, boy.
And it just happened. Like, if you really think about it, it just happened after the Hawks game. Like, before the Hawks game, I know people were upset, but it was something about that Hawks game that in 24 hours, like, this thing just erupted.
Bro, they let go of the rope, man. And then remember, because you were talking before about rotation issues and how that impacts players' psyche and feelings. Remember, just yesterday, 2 days ago, you had Quickly's associate, G-Day, who he's a big figure in the AAU ranks, especially in the DC Baltimore area, in the DMV. He's with Rock Nation now. Came out with some subliminals against Thibs and retweeting some Knicks Twitter comments about Thibs and throwing shots. The knives were coming out this week, man. This is what I'm telling you. They are feeling it right now. The Grimes move was a panic move. The Obi Julius finish it. Those were panic moves by this coach, man. Those were panic moves by Thibs.
I was shocked. I'm shocked that Evan Fournier was benched, just because, you know, the guy has one more year in his contract, and it's a lot of money.
Yeah. And
you didn't see, you know, last game, the Hawks game, he managed it normally, and for Grimes to go from situational to which told me the plan was to, you know, bring him along slowly, to automatically, you know, be a starter. And I think he would have played more minutes had he not gotten in early foul trouble. And Fournier, Fournier, he didn't look right on the court tonight.
Nah, he ain't happy.
His body language I know he's not a guy that you could tell a lot on the court, because he's not like a, you know, emotional he's not guy. A yeller or anything. He's not emotional. But I was watching him closely. He wasn't saying much. He was trotting up and down the court. He didn't look right. He didn't look like he wanted to be active offensively. He usually moves more, you know, to get the ball. He likes to come off screens. And it seemed like if a player wasn't setting the screen for him, he was not interested in his role tonight. And maybe it's just a one night thing, because it's like I think it caught all of us off guard. that this move was going to be made. So I think it's just a veteran player, maybe just trying to grasp, you know, the move so fast. He probably felt, as any veteran would feel, that, you know, maybe I saw this coming, but man, you're going to pull me from the starting lineup after 6-7 games just because we lost to the Hawks. Like, that's how probably he's looking at it.
For sure.
But, you know, this is a tough business, and, you know, decisions have to be made. And this coach, I think tonight's the first night that you really saw the Hawks game. We said it, but I think tonight the coach himself, I think he knows it now.
Felt it.
I'm coaching for my life.
Felt it, man. Pressure busting pipes right now. Salute to everybody in the chat once again. Hit that thumbs up button for you boys. Tough Knicks victory, but they got it, man. Hit that thumbs up button. We got 3,000 people in the chat right now. Hit the like button, hit the share button, and subscribe to the channel, man. Knicks Postgame Live presented by Manscaped. #1 show for the fans by the fans. CP and JD on the ones and twos. Knicks win 106-104. We're going to get to the phones. We want to hear what you guys have to say. Hear what the people have to say about tonight. Wacky game, man. Shout out to Willie Cruz, $5 super chat, says Randle, Fournier, D Rose, and Thibs out of here. Deuce should be playing. I disagree with that, but let's go to the phones. Doc Ross from the A. Doc, everybody thinks Deuce is a savior. Doc, what's going on?
Yo, what's going on, CP? JD, man, yo, hit that thumbs like up button. Yo.
Yep.
Let me tell you what happened tonight. You called it. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we're here.
All right. Let me tell you something. You called at the beginning of the game. He was coaching for his life. I like to give myself credit because after the Cavs game, I called him out here on KnicksFanTV. Then you guys called him out, the rotation with Obi and everything. You know what Thibs did? And this is why we got the victory. Thibs went and looked at KnicksFanTV because he did everything we were talking about. He benched Fournier, right?
Yeah.
He actually played Obi and Julius in the fourth quarter. Right? He knew it. He felt the heat. He had to go to KnicksFanTV, look at the tape. He looked at it.
He looked at the tape.
You guys might be on something. He looked at the tape 4 times. He said, these guys must be on to something. CP and them, they on to something. And guess what he did? He played Obi. You know? He's been doing what we told him to do. Let me tell you something. And people don't know this because I always tell my friends here around the A this. In the last 20 years, I bought 2 Knicks jerseys in the last 20 years. Those 2 Knicks jerseys that I said is because I think they got potential to be stars. That's RJ and Obi jersey. Seriously. Everybody keeps talking about we might have a star. We might have a star in Obi. Every time you see Obi, he's producing the same kind of numbers Julius is producing with fewer minutes. Imagine if he had starter minutes. You know, we got to get that to him. And then, you know, Thibs, I don't care how we won the game. I don't care if Thibs is – it's good that he put him in there. And I want him to be on the hot seat. Because if he's too stupid not to play the young guys in there, I mean, like, could you believe what you were seeing tonight? You looked at the TV, and it was RJ, Julius, Obi, Reddish on the court in the fourth quarter. I'm like, what?
Big. It's big.
And then guess what? We won.
Yeah.
We won. That's all I want to say. Before I get out of here, there was another caller that called in, because I was hot after the Atlanta game. A caller called in saying, like, oh, yeah, the Obi Hive, Julius is our best player. What you got to say now? Don't be throwing no smoke at me and everything. And the Obi Hive, I can't back it up. You know what I'm saying?
Doc Ross wants his respect.
That's all I got to say. You know, that's right. You know why? Because Obi's the best three-point shooter. Obi, and you know how people always say, well, Julius is better than Obi. Let me ask you a question. Was Julius, at this time in his career, year 3, better than Obi is right now? And the answer is no. Julius is a bum. He got saved. Thibs saved his job for another day. And guess what? We here. Everybody, shout out to Manscaped. You know, no testimonials. Just, you know, trim it up. You know what I'm saying? Hit the thumbs up, like button.
Appreciate
and
the call.
thank you, CP, JD, KnicksFanTV.
All right,
it.
Doc Ross, man. Salute, man. Salute. Let's go back to backs. TJ from Harlem. TJ, what's going on?
Yo, I'm here, guys. I'm sorry about that. I had to switch the phone over so you can hear me.
All good.
Can you hear me?
Yep, loud and clear. Let's go.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? So, listen, guys, I need some help, man. I'm still really, really pissed off. I didn't even watch the game today. I told my older brother, me and him are big Knicks fans. I told him, I said, I'm not gonna watch the game. Call me halftime. Let me know what happened. He texted me, and then I just started to get the notifications on my phone, and I just knew it, man. You know, help me out, guys. Is it the coach? Is the coach the problem, or is it the team? Because I would think the team would still have some pride and want to play and play. Are they just all not good? Do we need to blow up the entire organization from the top all the way down? What is it that we need to do? Because we don't have any stars on the team, right? The stars is what wins games, what wins in this league. We did not get anybody in the offseason other than Jalen Brunson, and that's it. So what are we doing here? If we fire Thibs and Johnny Bryan comes in, is he going to be somebody that's going to be on the hot seat after 20 games? What are we doing?
Yeah.
I don't know what direction. What are we doing right now? Yeah, okay, I understand. My older brother said, CJ, you got to understand something. That across the entire league, look at the Warriors. The Warriors had a hard time with Orlando and all this. I'm like, listen, man. Nothing, big bro. I don't care about none of these other teams. Maybe I'm just too invested. I'm emotionally invested. I've been emotionally invested since '94 when I had to watch them lose to freaking Houston. Like this is, yo, man. Oh my God, B.
All right, man. Hang in there, TJ. Hang in there. Appreciate the call, man.
I'm waiting for the first Cam call. Come on, let's keep it going.
You want to get the first Cam call? Well, I mean, look, real quick, I'll just answer this question. I mean, it all depends.
Can we just do player ratings for one call tonight? For one player tonight? That's all I want. I'm not gonna say what player. I just want one player. We can do player ratings. We can do whatever you want.
Yeah, now
I'm just waiting for us to get to this specific player so we can assess his night.
Let's see. Do we have any Cam callers right now? Not specifically. We'll get to them. Yeah, are they a good team or not? It depends on the context. Do I think this team, as currently constructed, has a high ceiling? No. Can a new coach help them be a little bit better? Probably. You know, does another coach wait until 6 minutes in the fourth quarter when the team is getting bludgeoned by, they're losing by 12 points in the fourth quarter to go back to his best defender? No. So, yeah, I think another different guy out there would find a way to manage the rotations better. But that being said, I don't see the ceiling being very high for this team. A new coach is not going to help this team shoot better, take care of the ball, defend. I think that comes down to the individuals. And right now, I don't think they're strong in any of those areas, which means they're not going to be a very good team.
I think, CP, a new coach can get the team to play with a better maybe a better playing style that can get that can be more a fit to certain players' strengths. I think that can happen. I think a new coach let's just go Johnny Bryan, right? Because I don't know that if Thibs gets fired tomorrow, unless they want to go sign Udoka. Is Udoka going to sign that Nets contract at this
he's
point?
Still hanging
What's
on.
going on?
Nets on fire right now. Kyrie
heard any
getting
reports.
canceled. KD on his way to getting canceled. Udoka, that contract's not in ink. It's not dry yet, bro.
Right. No, like since the Kyrie stuff, we haven't heard anything about Udoka and the Nets. Udoka might have called his agent and said, whoa, hold up. So other than maybe even that possibility, it would be Johnny Bryan. And I would just say that maybe a better playing style, better rotations. You would think that Bryan will go more to a younger, more towards the youth in terms of rotations and lineups. So I think that could be better. We can probably learn more about certain players. But here's the one issue, CP, about the thought that a new coach can get this team to another level. I think it could get better, but to another level, I think the issue here is there's still a player or two in this roster that I think in the end is the front office job to figure out. And that's Julius Randle, right? It's Evan Fournier. And if you even want to go as far as Derrick Rose, but mostly Evan Fournier and Julius Randle are two guys that right now seem to be roadblocks towards getting other players playing time. Because if Randle is still here, you have to find a way, CP, to get the best out of it.
Yeah.
Right? Like what you did to Fournier tonight, you really are not going to do to Randle.
But that's what fans have to understand.
If Johnny Bryan's the coach tomorrow, I don't think Johnny Bryan's benching Randle.
No. And that's what fans have to understand. Fournier's situation is different. Fournier's situation is different. Like Julius and Obi politically are not on the same level. Like that's what fans have to understand. So the fans that are looking for 24 and 24 minutes split down, it's not going to happen.
And that's why I think the front office wouldn't want Johnny Bryan to coach this team until the Randle things gets resolved. Because I don't think Julius Randle, to me, I don't think is a player that it's really like a Johnny Bryan, or that if Johnny Bryan was the coach, because of what we've already seen, I don't think Johnny Bryan would want Julius Randle to be a big part of the team, because he just stops a lot of things from happening.
You're gonna hurt the new coach by not having a cohesive roster. Like, don't do that to him. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of it is on Thibs, but a lot it's on this front office.
So it's on Leon. Back to Leon, man. Back to the phones we go. We got 3,000 in here on this Friday night, man. Hit that like button. Hit that thumbs up button for you boys. 106, 104. Knicks hang on in Philly. One of the weirdest games I've ever seen. Back to the Discord. You know on the Discord. Go ahead and unmute your mic.
What's up, y'all? First time calling. Good to see y'all.
What's good, bro? How you feeling?
I'm good. I'm good. JD, you talking the truth, man. I'm saying you talking the truth, man. But let me talk about Cam for you real quick.
Let's go, baby. You know about
next
Cam.
Game. That's all I'm saying. Can you start the next game? Because we're gonna need this defense. And although Fournier is good for a possible 40 the next game, we need the offense. We need the offense from Cam that's coming out there every night. That's coming out with the defense every game. And you know what I mean?
You Cam Hivers kill me, man. So let me see what happens tomorrow night, bro. Just call me back tomorrow night, man. This is the same guy that's chucking up all off balance, all centered shots in the Cavs game. Yo, he's another J.R. Smith until further notice, man. Yeah. I'll be the villain. Let me see it tomorrow.
Yeah, like
let me see back-to-back solid performances by Cam tomorrow before I'm back with the Cam Hive.
Hopefully, Thibs give him that opportunity. It's a good call, and I'll talk to y'all later.
All right.
CP.
They said I'm hating in the chat. Yeah, I'm hating.
Are you at all a fan of the youth?
Of course.
Obi's a dud pick.
Of course.
Cam is J.R. Smith. I mean,
of course.
What's going on here?
You just said it.
You have Fournier as a starter. Are you all about the vets?
No, I had Grimes as a starter. Grimes is my guy.
Well, I'm saying,
RJ's my guy. I like Mitch is my guy. I'm an Obi fan, bro. This is what you guys aren't getting. You guys call it hate.
You're an Obi fan?
Absolutely. I never haven't been.
You didn't even smile when you say absolutely.
Because this team is a mess. This is what I'm trying to tell y'all, man. Everybody right now, we got 3,000 people in here gassed over a 106-104 win over a Philly team with no Embiid and no Harden. All I'm saying is temper your expectations. Let's go in tomorrow, see what's going on. Let me see Cam string together 3, 4, 5 good effort games, solid input on both ends. This is his best game since opening night. That was October 19th. Are we going to keep it real or are we going to keep it real? He's been playing. Grimes has been gone.
The defense is there, CP.
You won't get an argument from me on that.
A lot of people may say Grimes. Cam might be the best defender on this team.
Could be.
Cam might be a better defender than Grimes.
Could
because the thing about the difference when Grimes was guarding Maxey and what Cam was, if you really pay close attention, Cam was gliding through those picks. And then when Maxey tried to get back to look for the pass, Cam's length was affecting the lanes. And then there were a few possessions where the shot clock was winding down. Cam was on Maxey because of his length. They couldn't go back to Maxey and they had to force a shot.
Yeah.
Like, those are the little things that only pop up in film with a guy that you can put on a point guard. And he's 6'8", man. And he's over here guarding a 6'2", speedster. The defense there, I will agree that a lot of it is the offense with him. And it's funny because he's still shooting 40% from 3 and 52% from the field, but his misses off that percentage have been like bad misses or bad shots, underhand floaters, some of these line drive threes, but yet the end result is he's been shooting, well, because that's what, his percentage is there. But here's the thing, CP, you gotta give me a break here. When you put a player in the second quarter and you give him that run, and then you don't put that same player back till the last 6 minutes of crunch time in a high leverage situation, when he was at the scorer's table, I had texted George and Keys, the Sports Files TV, and I said, does this coach expect Cam to come in now at the 6-minute mark and get in a rhythm or finish strong? And surprisingly, Cam finished strong.
Yeah, he did.
But I thought you let a player, you don't bring him back to the fourth, a rhythm player, you expect him to play well? Like the usage, the utilization, I don't agree with. At the end of the day, his characteristics are there. He has to battle that low motor consistency. That is correct. But this is why, CP, you have to live with his mistakes. Because you saw it in Obi. The three-point shot has improved. You got to play him. I don't care if he gets 3 rebounds. Put him with Mitch. Put him with Jericho. Put him with a rebounder. All right? Or you, whatever. But the improvement is there. Cam is a player that the ceiling you're going to get. He might be off offensively, but look what he can do for you defensively. The ceiling on a game-to-game basis. Tomorrow he could throw 3 clunkers. But the game after that,
now you shooting him bail already. We didn't even get to the game.
No, I'm just saying because you just got to keep playing. You don't know.
The thing is, you
gotta live with the mistakes.
Will he have that leeway? I don't see it on this team. And we're gonna talk about rotations and stuff going forward, but I don't know. All I'm saying is, let's see what tomorrow brings with Cam.
Oh, here you go.
I'm all on board. I'm all on board. Let's see what tomorrow brings.
Is he gonna play tomorrow?
Of course. You got Tatum and Brown coming to town. We need Cam. We need him out there.
You never know with Thibs.
Nah. We need him out there. I mean, you can't play around. And with the Grimes situation, he might have to be on like a minutes restriction or something, man. I don't know. I don't know.
Because he needs to get right, man.
Yeah, I don't think he can give him a full workload.
I just remembered Cam is not going to play tomorrow. I just wasted my time because Fournier is going to get 30 minutes.
We are playing the Celtics. Fournier back in the starting lineup. Let's go. Fournier back in the starting lineup, man. It's happening. It's definitely happening. Let's run through some calls, man. We got so many people calling in right now. 3,100 in the chat, man. Salute to everybody in the chat. Hit that thumbs up button for your boy CPJD and the ones and twos. Let me hear from some new people. Let me go to Bryan from New York. Bryan 914. What's going on?
Hey guys, thanks. Second time caller. I'll slow it down from after the Charlotte game, but
okay.
You guys covered the desperate point pretty accurately. I won't go there, but. Mm-hmm. JB, I think you said something pretty interesting earlier about Fournier not looking all himself. Something's got to be said. Last year, when the team was down emotionally, that guy was a positive attitude. It couldn't be easy for him to get benched today. So I give him a hall pass on that. And also, little stat: I was following the game today. Julius Randle entered the fourth quarter with 4 rebounds, ended up at 10. So when you put the big dog, he's a strong big boy. You put him in there, he can hold his own in the paint. And Thibs got bailed out by agreeing to do the whole Obi Randle thing. Mm-hmm. I don't give him an excuse. The biggest problem here was Cam played the best first half of his life, and he did not have the in-game recognition to realize to play the hot hand.
That was crazy.
And ultimately that's going to be the downfall of Thibs, is that he can't make that in-game adjustment to realize, hey, what's working tonight.
Yeah.
Basketball is stats, but basketball is also a game of flow. And until he realizes that, the Knicks are still always going to be looking for a coach. Another hot point before I sign off, Carmelo Anthony back in the day. I've never been a fire Thibs guy.
Oh, boy.
Carmelo Anthony back in the day said, I played here for 7 years. I played for 4 coaches. I think it meant a lot that the Knicks put their support behind Thibs. They built their continuity, but at the end of the day, a change will have to be made at some point, and I don't think Obi saved them tonight. Thanks, guys, a lot. I really appreciate it.
Thank you,
guys
man.
Are amazing. Thank you so much.
Thanks for calling in. Thanks for calling. Rate that call in the chat, man. 1 being facts, 1 being trash, 5 being facts. What you guys think about that call? Rate Bryan's call. There's one thing that he said that I want to respond to, which was not having the feel for Cam, right? Which was very interesting because he seemed to have the feel to know that Derrick Rose was pretty damn bad tonight. And Rose never got back in the game. And apologies to the Rose Hive in advance. Our guy didn't have it tonight. And so he didn't even come back in after his stint at all. It's weird. Because on one end, Thibs knows, like, all right, this guy's not giving me anything. And the other end, you got Cam, who's giving you the best defense on the team. And you find yourself down 12 in the fourth quarter. He's still not even in the game.
In a position, also the position, like, you still have Quickly there. You can always go back to Brunson. So you had, even with him benching Rose, like, it's not as noticeable. I mean, it's noticeable because of who the player is, but in terms of the position that he's covering the point guard positions. You have other alternatives that were playing decently. I mean, Quickly didn't shoot the ball well tonight, but Quickly was playing, solid defense. But at the wing position with Cam, like, you not see that Fournier doesn't have it? Do you not see that, we don't have many other wing options?
Right.
And do you not see that the player that you haven't gone to yet is the player that actually sparked the run? Like, above everything. Like, we're not talking about Cam playing good defense and the Knicks were still down 8.
Yeah.
We're talking about Cam playing good defense. And it's funny, when he came back in, I think the first play he got a deflection that led to a bucket. As soon as he came in the fourth.
Yeah.
He had that deflection that came back to the bucket where Obi had the dunk. And I'm like, how crazy is that too? Like, how that worked out, where Cam comes in and it's like right away he makes a play.
Right. See,
how the basketball gods work.
I think, and I'm not making an excuse for the coach, but I think he was stuck with having to give Fournier some minutes tonight, to the point where he went, he got his 14, where he went with him longer in the fourth than he probably even wanted to. You understand what I'm saying? Like how do you go from starting the guy to then moving him to benching him,
not even playing him,
to then not even playing him? It's a tricky situation. Fans always think, you just get rid of this guy and don't play this guy. I don't think it's as cut and dry as people always make it out to be. I'm just putting it. I'm just looking from the coach's perspective right now.
From a CAA perspective.
From a CAA perspective, as someone who is tapped into the situation. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying.
You knew about this. You knew about this too. You just didn't want to. You didn't want no clout today. So
yeah, I did hear about the Grimes move earlier today. I did hear about that. I did.
I do. Probably RJ texted me, but it's all good.
but it's a tricky thing. But my question is to you and the fans: is tonight a turning point where, okay, the Julius Obi thing is still, to me, is still going to be an issue, but is tonight a turning point where this is a full youth movement takeover, where a Rose and a Fournier really start losing minutes? And you're getting Cam solidified in the rotation. IQ's getting solidified there. Because ultimately, he went 12 guys tonight. It's going back to 10. It's going back to 10. And
then if Mitch doesn't play tomorrow, he's not gonna have a day of rest to rest that knee. How about this, EP? What would the starting lineup be tomorrow? Right. Now we have another decision to make. I think you have two decisions to make, but I guess they won't go that way because they already pivoted to Grimes. But you could make an argument, should Cam start now? But at the very least, if Mitch is not there tomorrow, does the coach say, you know what? I elevated the young Grimes. Now I'm going to elevate the young Obi and make Randle the starting 5 tomorrow against a team that doesn't have Robert Williams, so you can do it.
Yeah, Celtics,
right?
Celtics playing small.
So you can play that lineup to start tomorrow, or does he go the traditional and Hartenstein gets the nod? So that's one. And then, as you mentioned, the second thing is this a pivotal point? Because when a coach coaches for his life like he did tonight, to where you're looking at, as you mentioned, he might not make that flight to New York, or maybe he doesn't make the weekend if he even gets the opportunity tomorrow. And you see that what you did worked. To me, CP, how can you not expand on what worked tonight for the foreseeable future? Right? Like, how can you not do it?
See, I think Hartenstein still.
Here you go.
I still think he starts.
I try to set it up. I'm getting excited. I'm getting hyped. And you always got to come and try to hit me with the reality. Listen, this is why I can't be doing these shows. I think,
given that they are playing Boston tomorrow, maybe you do see an Obi and a Randle together again for a couple minutes. Does Obi start? I don't see it. I still see they got. I still think.
So why you let me ramble, man? You could have just cut me off.
Good points. It's a good point. You know what? It was a response to my question. So I was hearing your perspective on it. I don't know, man. I just think tonight was one of those nights where the matchup lent to it, and the situation, the scenario, lent to Thibs having to really go against his principles just for the sake of coming back into this game and getting a win. I just think it was the scenario, the matchup. It was no Embiid. You know, you had Harrell out there and PJ Tucker. I mean, if you can't play Randle and Obi together against them two in the front court, it's never going to happen. So the Philly gave us a gift there. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. I just think that, you know, it would just be strange to, you know, on the night that you were coaching for desperation, you don't look at what worked and try it again tomorrow. And I think, and it's funny because, you know, you don't have a day off, so you can go right back to it. These players are coming off that rhythm. Yeah. I would go to Cam early. You know, I would bring Obi in early. Like, I would just go early with these guys. I'll be interested to see if Rose gets any minutes tomorrow. Just because it's also a back-to-back.
Four turn. Yeah, true. And a back-to-back. Right.
So the coach could sell that and say, listen, we just gave Rose, you know, Rose a management day. He could sell that. He could. Even though Rose could be ready to play, because the other thing about Rose is, I know Rose has the name and the cachet, but you can see he's being a good teammate. From his off-season interviews, going into training camp, going into preseason, and going into the early season, he's been consistent. He's over here name dropping Deuce McBride. He wants to see Deuce get minutes. So he's been an outstanding teammate. And with Rose, CP, I just think he's been shooting the ball well. But I know that he doesn't have the lift that he used to have, but I think he's even a step slower this year.
4 turnovers tonight, bro. He was sloppy with the ball, man. 4 turnovers.
I think even getting to the basket, he still finds a way, but he looks a little bit slower. So I don't know if his health or it's just the natural father time is right at the door.
Yeah. Is it father time? Is it, you know, him trying to manage things? Is he trying not to go too hard to the rim? Remember in the offseason interviews, one of the times he was saying he was going to shoot the ball more. So it made me think, like, is he going to take it to the basket less? You know, D Rose's thing, he was beast mode. He was trying to dunk on you every play. Back in the day, back in his prime. So I don't know. You know, tough to see, obviously, his impact on this team, but he hasn't been looking the same. Hasn't been looking the same probably since that Cleveland game, since like last week. He hasn't really been. He did hit a couple big shots in that game, but overall he just hasn't been. Hasn't been the same effect with Rose, man.
And let me say one more quick thing about Cam, CP. I think Cam could be an elite defender, man. You know what I think he needs? I think he needs a player coach. Because when you look at the games, you see, when Cam makes mistakes, you don't necessarily see a player go right to him and kind of coach him up or tell him like what he did wrong, right? And you don't really see Thibs. You know, Thibs has his reactions. Like, I don't really see a player go to him and just coach him up. You know, and I wish he could have like maybe a Reggie Bullock, a Rondo, a Pat Bev, like one of these defensive guys that's a veteran that can just teach him nuances. Because even tonight, there were a few possessions where he would defend Maxey by the half-court line. And there were a few possessions that Maxey got by him because he noticed I got a 6'8" guy all the way on me, and it's the half court line. Let me use my speed. It's those little things where it's like, Cam, you're 6'8". You don't have to guard Maxey that close up top because he can just go right by you and create pressure on the defense. It's those little things that I think he's missing in terms of polish and scouting reports, understanding, positioning, that I think a player coach, somebody that can coach him up, it's not always a head coach. Maybe it's Johnny Bryan in practice, but I think he needs a little bit more of that. There's some players that in the NBA that learn more from another player than they do from a coach. And I think when it comes to Cam, he's just one of those unique examples that I think if he had some type of veteran player that plays defense, he could help him become even better defensively.
Well said, man. So to everybody in the chat, once again, hit that thumbs up button for you boys. Knicks postgame live presented by Manscaped, CP and JD on the ones and twos. Knicks win 106-104. Hang on to beat the Sixers in Philly in a wild game, man. I want to welcome all 3,000 people in the chat and ask you guys, please hit that like button, hit that thumbs up button right now. Share this video and subscribe to the channel. If you want to call us up, call in 657-383-1509 or hit us up on the KnicksFanTV Discord. And remember that these shows are presented by Manscaped. Go to manscaped.com, enter promo code KFTV for 20% off plus free shipping. All right, got a lot going on right now. We got super chats coming in. We got people on the lines. We're going to get to the super chats at the end of the show just to prioritize things, keep the show running. We'll get to the phones, take a couple calls, and then we're going to go to player ratings. All right, so number one, if you guys are new in the chat, leave us a hashtag new as well, man. We'll shout you guys out. And let's take this thing to the Caribbean, JD. Let's go to Jose from Puerto Rico. Wants to tap in with us, man. Jose, what's going on, man?
Puerto Rico.
Yeah, what's up, fellas? Great show. But I hear you guys talk a lot about Thibs, fire Thibs. Mm-hmm. The bottom line is this is going to be a long season because this roster is garbage. And Thibs can't rely on anybody. The only person that's reliable and has any NBA brain is Brunson. And it's going to be a long season. I thought I was looking forward to this season. I was like, don't trade for Donovan. I wish I'm eating my words. It's going to be a long season. We need superstars. Barrett ain't it. I can't mention one good player. That this is not
Jose going 10 toes down right now.
This is not even a G League team. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing, and I'm a Knicks fan for almost over 30 years.
G League.
Jose keeping it real, man,
and
for you fans in the chat.
Not even a G League, and I'm a proud Knicks fan, and everybody fired Thibs. Thibs has a garbage roster. These kids make stupid mistakes. That's why he's always bringing in Reddy's always doing something stupid. Randle with his dribbling. You got one NBA player in that team, and that's Jalen Brunson. Everybody else is garbage. And it's going to be a long season, fellas. And tomorrow we're going to get spanked. We're going to get spanked tomorrow. It's going to be embarrassing. If you think the Hawks were bad, a loss, watch the Boston game. It's gonna be embarrassing. Everybody fire Thibs. No, fire Leon Rose. Fire West. Fire all these wannabe agents, wannabe GMs, and don't have a clue and what's going on. What happened to Mitchell? They should have gotten Mitchell. What happened to all these? We need stars. We don't have stars. We have one reliable player. That's Jalen Brunson. That's it. I don't want to take much of your time, guys. You got a great show.
Thank you, man.
Sorry
appreciate
for the bad news.
No, I like that. I like that. I like the contrarian point of view, man. When everybody's throwing flowers out there, my man Jose from Puerto Rico came through and kept it a buck. He torched the whole damn thing. Torched the whole chat. Rate that call in the chat right now. I'm curious. I want to see what's going on. Show yourselves. 1 being trash, 5 being facts. Let me know if you guys agree with Jose tonight. Rate that call in the chat, man.
Why are you so hyped?
I like.
I've never seen you this excited about a call, huh?
I'm showing my hand a little bit. Listen.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever heard of Thibs bringing in Cam because of the stupid mistakes. I'm like,
no, but his point is, because I've been
point,
making this point, is that it's very difficult with an average team to make consistent decisions with rotation because guys are not consistent and reliable every night. I agree with him. I agree with him 100% in that regard. And this is why this is a middle of the pack team. Look, Cam has his moments. We've seen guys like Cam all the time. The JRs of the world. Tim Thomas. This guy, that guy. 1 minute they're an all-star. The next minute they're completely lost. And you're just waiting. Okay, next game. Oh, he's going to get it together next game. Oh, with a new coach, he's got it all put together. Oh, it's always something. That's why I say with Cam, look, I loved his game tonight. We needed him. I even said on Twitter when he was out of on the bench, I said, we need Cam. Get Cam in the game.
I've never seen a bigger Cam fan against Memphis at the 44.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It's all good.
Absolutely. We were high-fiving everything. Everything. I give him his credit. But we've seen so many of these up and down inconsistent players on this team. That's why I say, let me see what tomorrow brings. Give me 5 straight good games where I'm like, yeah, all right, let's go. You know what I'm saying? Give me 5. Give me 5. I'm not asking the whole season. Give me 5 to show me some consistency here.
CP, we talked about IQ. Man, can he make a shot? I mean, come on now.
Yeah.
Like, we talked about being concerned. Is this what, like, is this the guy we're going to get from a shooting perspective?
Oof.
To me, is from a shooting perspective. He's advertised as a sniper, but I'm not quite seeing that consistently. And I'm hoping he turns it around. But when you see stuff like that, then Jose's right. I don't know about G League though. I think
I wouldn't go that far. I think he jumped all the way out the window. It's not. It's way better.
I would have loved to ask him, like, what'd you think of this same roster before the Donovan trade? Because you just said you were eating your words, so you must have thought the roster wasn't that bad.
He said he didn't want to make the Donovan trade, and then he said they should have made the Donovan trade. Didn't he say that?
Right. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. So like he's going so crazy on the same players that he wanted to keep. So I'm like, man.
Is there anybody out there that wants to battle Jose? I thought that was a very full supercharged call right there. I feel like somebody should call in and battle Jose. I think we should have an impromptu battle of the fans. It's Friday night. It's the weekend here. We got almost 3,000 people in the chat. Knicks win in controversial fashion. Does anybody want to battle Jose, man? Raise your hand, call in, let us know. He's calling from Puerto Rico. I don't know if it's a long distance call or what, with cell phones these days. But we might have to set that up.
Facts.
Might have to set that up.
Papa left. Anybody?
Who's in here? Team hashtag new. MJ7 cocktail. Team hashtag new. What's going on? We have Ish Power. Welcome to the show, Ish Power. Let me scroll through some hashtag news. I had to go all the way up. Puerto Rico in the house. Who else we got? Team hashtag new in here. Mr. Don's in here. Mr. Don, salute. Shout out Reef Finesse. How you feeling? Yeah, man. Welcome everybody in the chat. Okay. So let's let me take one more and then we'll go to player ratings. Let me take one more. We got a lot of people. Cynthia, I see you. We'll close with Cynthia tonight. I want to get to we got a lot of calls tonight, man. A lot of calls. A lot of people got stuff to say, man.
Yeah, they're probably all calling for Cam. So let's get to them.
Benji, what's going on? Benji from Manhattan. Let's go.
Hey, what's up, CP? What's up, JD? Rapid fire.
Okay, nice.
Pivotal win tonight, given the upcoming schedule. Obviously, not a game that we'd win in past years. Just a couple comments. Obviously, I'm a huge Fournier fan. I don't love, like JD said, he just didn't look right out there. And if we're gonna play him right, like he's gonna be on this team, then we need to find a way to get him the looks. He's not getting the touches that he needs to be effective, right? This is not about this is about the Knicks winning the game. So we won the game, and that's all I care about. But we got to find a way to get him into the mix, somehow getting touches and getting looks. Cam was outstanding tonight, obviously. But I agree with JD. Like, you can't sit a guy that long. There's no margin for error when he came back in the game with 6 minutes to go. Like, you can't put a guy in that situation. Like, it just wasn't smart. IQ, love his energy, love how he's, rebounding better this year. I think he was averaging 6 rebounds entering tonight, but his shooting needs to improve. That one play where he had the steal in the backcourt from Maxey, he takes too many of those ill-advised shots where it's like he doesn't need to shoot a 3 there, you know what I mean? And he's not shooting a high percentage. like probably 30%. So that's my issue there. And then as far as Grimes goes, like, yeah, Grimes is a promising 3-and-D player, but like, and he needs to work his way back. But like, he had 2 points and it was a -20 tonight. So let's just understand that he really didn't help us tonight. But so big game tomorrow. My response to the guy who called from the Caribbean is, I think it's a little bit of a hyperbole there. I understand what he's saying, bigger picture with this team, but I think we're definitely improved from last season, just by virtue of Brunson. Like, Brunson made some key plays down the stretch today. I just think there's a little bit harsh, and I would just ask that if we win the game tomorrow, he call back in and own up to what he had to say. And then my last point is, I agree with JD. I think it would be cool if Obi started tomorrow. I know they're going to start iHeart. Jericho was pretty brutal tonight. He had 1 offensive rebound. I think he was -12, but I think it would be cool to give Obi.
This guy said rapid fire. He's still cooking. Listen to this.
And also, before I go, Julius nearly turned that ball over that he passed to Obi in the corner for that 3. I was like expecting him to turn the ball over. He like barely got it out in the corner. So that was a huge shot. This is probably like Obi's most impactful game in terms of like, it's not a game when the season's over. It was, he hit a big shot from the corner.
I need the Grammys music for when Benji's calls. You know the Grammys music when they rush the people off the stage? I need that.
That guy from the Caribbean calling back to own up to his words on that.
Benji.
Right, got you, man. Appreciate the call, man.
Rapid fire for sure.
All right.
That was rapid cooking.
If Benji calls that rapid fire, I think he took maybe 10 seconds off his average.
Man, that was longer than Thibs' post-game press conference.
I think he shaved off like 10 seconds off his normal calls.
I think it becomes like a caller like routine for them to say it, because we all, you know what I mean, like we always say it. So they call, they'll be like rapid fire, but they don't realize you just said rapid fire, so please keep it rapid. Good points though. Man. Good call, Benji.
Yeah. He's clinging on to hope for Fournier, man. He's a Fournier guy, man. So let's see, man. RedVelvetPapi in the Discord.
Yo, what's good, CP and JD?
What's good, man?
Red Velvet.
So I got 3 things.
Yeah.
1, get Fournier out of here for a second. I don't care who, where, just get him off the team. He's not a fit. Like, it's time to go. He don't play no defense. He's a streaky shooter. If he's not going to at least hit 3s, then we could just throw Cam in there because he's a better defender off rip. That's a plus. 2, Randle. I don't know. He need to fix his attitude or something. He needed to get it together. Otherwise, we could get him out of here too. I said it last year. It's addition by subtraction if we get him out of here. So if he don't want to fix his attitude and be all mopey because he had to play the 5 for a couple minutes in the 4th, then he could go 2. Okay. And 3, Thibs, he played that Obi and Randle lineup because he was trying to prove a point, because he knew if he lost that game, he was getting fired. So he was like, I'm going to give y'all what y'all want, so that way I can show y'all, it wasn't going to work. And what happened? It backfired on him. It was actually the best lineup we have. And I don't understand why he didn't put Cam in the 3rd quarter. He let Fournier. He had a lineup out there with Brunson, Quickly, and Fournier. 2 non-defenders, and Quickly's a decent defender, but he's small. Like, why are you doing that?
Right.
Why are you doing that when we're trying to get back in the game?
Right.
He's just being petty all night, making stupid decisions. I don't know why we keeping him around at this point to save face, I guess. It don't make sense to me, but that's all I gotta say. He gotta get out of here. Randle, if he don't get his attitude together, he gotta get out of here. Fournier, definitely get out of here. That's it. All right,
man. Appreciate the call, man.
You want to say his name again?
Nah, I was gonna say he was only getting that one time, so I was hoping he was gonna be there. So I was only gonna say that name.
Something. So
yeah, I was only gonna say that name one time. One time. he wasn't getting it going once.
Reminds me of an all-timer with the UNJ Ellis back in the day, if you can remember.
Yeah, he was only getting that one time, man. Come call that name out once. That's it, bro. All right, let's do player ratings real quick, man. Player ratings presented by KnicksFanTV.com. Fans out there, make sure you guys are going to KnicksFanTV.com to check out, number one, some great articles by our guys, Alex, Jalen, Luke, Gamba's writing. But Knicks Fan TV, Remy, does post-game player ratings after every game, rating every single player that played in the game, and it's an excellent write-up. So make sure you guys are going to KnicksFanTV.com. Sign up for the newsletter as well. And, yeah, man, it's a great time. All right, JD. Let's get to it, man. Let's start off with save the best for last. I'll skip Julius tonight. Let's go to Brunson.
Okay. 1 to 10?
Yeah, 1 to 10. What are you guys rating Brunson?
I'm gonna go 1 to 10 for Jalen Brunson. Plus 11, 23 points, 7 assists, 6 rebounds. 21 team turnovers. He only had one of those 21.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with a 8. With a solid 8. And what I just mentioned, 1 turnover out of the 21.
Yeah.
Which is kind of crazy to think that outside of our point guard that played 36 minutes, we had 20 other turnovers on the team.
Mm-hmm.
He hit his 8 of 9 free throws. I don't give him a 9 or 8.5 because he did miss. The one miss he had was a critical free throw.
Yeah.
Right. And I don't think he played great defense tonight. Even in his off, he didn't guard Maxey, but he was lost in a few rotations that led to some buckets. He missed a few wide open threes, but he came big with that nice layup and one. He was being a veteran. Presence there, and again in crunch time he just understands the moment. He doesn't get intimidated by it, and I thought he came through big overall, with 7 assists and 6 rebounds, 36 minutes. I thought he had a pretty good game. I mean, you're getting 23 points from Jalen Brunson. That's more than he did in Dallas. That's more than his season average.
Yeah.
So I will go with a solid 8 tonight.
I'll go 7.5. I like the fact that in crunch time he had the ball in his hands a lot more. I felt like they went away from him, especially in the Hawks game and the Cavs game. This is our point guard. As Jose said in PR, this is our best decision maker on the team. And as you said, a closer, he should have the ball in his hands to either play make or to be given a chance to score the ball because he's a guy that you can trust. 8 for 9 from the stripe. He did miss a critical one. I just knock it down a little bit because I didn't think the defense was all that great, especially earlier in the game. But in crunch time, he delivered. Another efficient night for him. 7 of 15, 7 dimes, 23 points. This is what you want from him. And so I thought he played well. So I'll give him a 7.5. I'll give him a 7.5. How about RJ?
Ooh. Oh. RJ. I'm gonna go with a 7.5 for RJ. I'm gonna go with this is tough, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with a 7. I'm gonna go with a 7. And I said 7.5 because when I look at his stats, 50%, 8 of 16, 22 points, 9 rebounds, right? Mm-hmm. So statistically, that looks like even a higher rated night. But when you see the game, still a few instances where he drives to the basket and he just doesn't pass much when he's in the break. He can have somebody open. He's looking to be a little bit more aggressive than I like him to be at certain spots, because I always think he can have another option as a playmaker. So that's one of the reasons he had 2 assists tonight in 37 minutes. And I thought he had opportunities to get about 4 or 5. 2 of 8 from 3. Again, I have to continue to hold him accountable because he is getting good looks. He's getting corner looks. Mm-hmm. He's getting some of the same looks he had when he shot 40% a few years ago. And it's going to be important for him to hit the 3-point shot in order for this team to take the next level, especially the starters. So to me, I can't give him an 8 or 9 if he's going to be shooting 2 of 8, because that aspect is going to be important for this team. And the other thing, and the third thing is his defense can still be a little bit better. RJ's defense has been decent at best. And I'm a little bit surprised that his defense is not a little bit better, being that, like tonight he didn't have a quick guard to defend, but I just think he could be a little bit better defender. So I'm going to go with a 7 for RJ tonight. He still misses a little bit, a few bunnies for me that I like. But a better night. He's 8 of 16. I'll take every single night. That's 50%.
Yeah.
I just have a little bit more of a higher expectation for him this season because it's year 4. That's all.
I'll go 7.5 for him. I did like the fact that he was aggressive. He finished. It was a mixed bag in terms of his finishing at the rim, because he did finish a couple nice ones. But as you said, there's still areas where he could make some more. 2 assists tonight. I think 5 should be he should be looking to average 4 to 5 a night, because there's plays there that I feel like he kind of gets tunnel vision and forces up something that's just not there, instead of being a little bit more patient. But I like the fact that, he's always trying to get out in transition. He's trying to push, because those are the best ways that he can score, especially when the 3-point shot's not falling, and finishing at the rim in traffic in the half court is a little bit clunky for him. But I did like his approach, especially offensively. An efficient night for him. They needed him. They needed him to score. The third quarter in particular, I thought he was really good. Defensively, I thought he struggled against Tobias. Tobias being a bigger player, he did struggle a bit on the defensive end. And then he did have that travel late in the game that could have hurt us. He did have a travel late in the game. I forgot how much time was left, but that was a big possession where he was, driving under the basket with nowhere to go and ended up taking too many steps. So it's got to be a little bit better in terms of decision making overall. But I'll give him a 7.5 on the night. I'll give RJ 7.5. How about all right, eeny meeny miny mo. All right, let's go, Cam.
Yes.
Let's go, Cam.
It hurt for you to do
well,
it.
I didn't know, because to me, Obi's the player of the game, but I'll go Cam. I was a flip of a coin, really.
Obi, okay. Cam. I mean, come on, man. We're breaking the metric tonight. 11. I mean, literally, the guy was perfect. 4 of 4, 1 of 1 from 3, 2 of 2 for the free throw. He was literally perfect. Yeah. 3 assists in 15 minutes. He had 3 assists, a steal, a block, no turnovers, plus 19, highest on the team, 11 points. And I just think the elite defense on a guard. I mean, a wing like that, you typically use a wing. You want him to guard other wings. And he came in, and from the get-go, he's guarding the team's best player tonight, in Tyrese Maxey, who, as you can see, can be a very explosive player. A lot of people compare Maxey to IQ. I think Maxey's ability to get by defenders, and that's where it is, because he can get by defenders, while IQ still struggles to get by certain players in front of him. I just think for Cam to come in and impact the game on defense, I mean, sometimes you can have a good offensive night and have a great defensive game, but I mean, he's not like he had the Memphis game, but his defense tonight was so impactful that it really affected the game, because him guarding Maxey affected their whole offense. And I think also showing the glimpse to Thibs, I want a 48-minute Grimes or Cam for 48 minutes at different spots guarding the other player's best perimeter player. In other words, if Grimes is not on the floor, Cam better be. And Cam better be guarding the other guy's best guard. When Cam's on the bench, then it better be Grimes. I think that's a good recipe to use. When Cam is out there, I don't care who's there. Let him guard the best perimeter player. So because of the defense, and he was more engaged, and I'm going to give him credit for sitting that long, CP, and coming back. You know how difficult it is to come back and actually play in the last 6 minutes of a fourth quarter game in a close game? It's not easy. Crunch time. So give him credit to stay mentally engaged and still be able to impact the second half, the fourth quarter, the same way he did in the second quarter. So I'm going to go with 11. I don't even know if that's legal, but I'm doing it.
Broken the scales, ladies and gentlemen. JD going off. Broke the scales. Went off the 10s. Gives Cam an 11 tonight, man. Rate Cam's performance tonight. 1 to Hey, if 11 is where you want to go, 1 to 11, man. What do you guys think about Cam's performance tonight? Definitely rate that one in the chat.
Talk about a president of the Hive.
hey, that's how you got to represent, man. That's how you got to represent. Claim it. Somebody in the chat said Jabroni Z said Maxey's not way better than Quick. Come on, man. You guys got to keep it real, man. Listen, I love Quick. That's my guy. The Knicks wanted Maxey in the draft, okay? When the Knicks didn't get Maxey in the draft, they ended up going back to go get Quick. They wanted Maxey, man. The guy's a legit 3-level scorer. He's a blur out there. He was giving them work until Cam came into the game. A legit 3-level scorer. Single-handedly was serving the Knicks tonight. Come on, man. Come on. They're not the same player, man. Quickly struggling to find a shot tonight. I mean, this year, the last 2 years, Quickly's been struggling to find a shot. They're not the same player, man.
This is Maxey's game log, and some of these games is without Harden and Embiid.
Yeah.
Tonight he still found a way to score 31 points.
31.
Last game, 32 points, 55% shooting from three. The game before that, 28 points, 54% shooting. He had a 44-point game already. He's had another 31-point game. He's had another 25-point game. He's had a 21-point game. We've only played 8-9 games.
Yeah.
And
He's
this
bucket,
guy already has multiple 30-point games and a 40-point game.
Right. But hey, if that's not way better, hey, I don't know. I guess I'm a hater. You just got to keep it realistic. But Quickly's my guy. I hope that he finds a shot. I'll give Cam... I give him a 9. I save my 10s for quality opponents and really, outstanding all-star type performances. However, I'll give him a 9 because we needed him. And he delivered, and he was the only one on this team that could slow Maxey down. He was the only one. They were down by 12 points. When Thibs took that timeout. They were down by 10, sorry. It was 91-81. They bring in Cam, 6 minutes left. Knicks go on a 16-5 run to ultimately take the lead. They needed him. His defense was solid. He was efficient, and he made good decisions. That's what you want from him. When he's making good decisions on a night like tonight, you get a lot of points. And this is why he closes the game. Right? He had a chance, right? We go back to that Cleveland game. I thought if Cam didn't chuck up those 2 UFOs, he would have closed. I thought he would have closed that game. I really thought he would have closed that game.
How about that, CP? Cam's making a case to close more games than not.
Yeah.
Right? Like when he's on, it's like he makes a case to close those games.
Absolutely. You have to. You have to based on how we're looking, especially on the defensive end. So for him to be able to come in and really be able to slow down the hottest player on the other team, and then on the flip side, that move that he made to the basket in that fourth quarter, that was a solid move. That was a solid move. And when you think about the whole Grimes Cam debate and dynamic, that's where a consistent Cam can separate himself from a Grimes because he has a move to the basket that Grimes is still working on. Grimes did put it on the floor one time and he got fouled by PJ Tucker, but with Cam it's more natural, it's more fluid, it's better. He has a better move to the basket, and then he can use his length to lay it up, do a reverse, do something crazy, draw a contact. That's what he could do. And I thought that move that he made, and I want to say PJ Tucker was guarding him, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
That was a clutch move. That was a clutch move in crunch time. So I'll give him a 9. Overall solid. We needed him, and he got us. He got us the win. I thought he helped get us the win.
Hopefully he's not a 2 tomorrow.
Yeah. We'll see how it works out.
Hopefully he's not a 2 tomorrow.
Yeah.
Hopefully he's another 9.
We'll see how it works out tomorrow, man. Okay. Last but not least, Obi.
Are we going bonus?
Yeah. Now you gave Cam an 11. So where are you going with this?
Why are you trying to line me up, man? We could have done Obi first. You think you slick? Because you
Listen, I
you
flipped
said,
the coin,
you said
man.
last for Cam, and now we're going to bonus. All right, I see how you roll.
But I mean, who's the player of the game though? Keep it real. Was it Cam or was it Obi though?
It's Cam, man. Stop playing with me.
Who people in the chat? Who was the player of the game? Was it Cam or was it Obi?
We don't win the game without Cam.
You got to score points.
I get it.
13 in the fourth. You got to score points, man. They couldn't score at all night. They went 20. They shot 27% from three.
I get it, but I'm saying you could make the case that if Cam would have came in early in the game, maybe you don't even.
They don't need Obi scoring.
They don't need Obi in the fourth. Maybe Obi don't even come in.
It's Julie's close to the show. Solo dolo.
I'm telling you. So I'm gonna go Obi tonight. I gotta go. I think I gotta go with a 9 because at the end of the day, him and Cam, they were both part of the recipe of winning. And I gotta give a young lottery player, I gotta give him a lot of credit because he's in a tough position and he still only played 20 minutes tonight after only playing 6 minutes. Comes in the second half and plays well. And he impacted the game in ways that was his weakness, which is shooting the 3-point, right? And for him to hit some of those big shots, I got to give you credit for that because to me, that shows development, that shows improvement. And one of the things with Obi that was talked about early on his early Knicks career is the confidence. Sometimes we saw him out there and we saw him like he didn't seem confident in his shooting. And I think he's slowly and more surely developing that more and more and more. And I think we've wanted to see how he would react, maybe against starters in the NBA. How will Obi react against NBA starters? Because he's coming off the bench. And the other thing is, how can Obi react being put in a close game in the fourth quarter? How is that going to look when he gets a shot? Give him credit because he missed 2 important threes the game before, or the game against the Cavs. Remember that game where it was against the Hawks. I'm sorry,
the Hawks.
Where it was a 10-point game. He missed 2 threes, and for him to have the confidence to hit, like, those are moments of development mentally for a player. So I got to give him credit for that, man. Obviously, the 3 rebounds is something that's always going to be talked about with him. But at this point, I always said Amari wasn't a great rebounder, and I think he's even a weaker rebounder than Amari Stoudemire.
Yeah.
These tweener guys that he's always just going to look to leak out, right? After a rebound, he's going out. If he's going to be at the perimeter, he's away from the basket. So at this point, I'm kind of acceptant of the fact that he's never going to be especially the way he's being used. He's not going to be a strong rebounder. So although the 3 rebounds look silly for a 4, I'm actually accepting of the fact that, that's how it's going to be. I'm hoping I would want him to get it to 6. If he can get it to 6, excellent.
6 boards.
Yeah, 3 is a little crazy. It's a little too low. But offensively, energy, +6, 20 minutes, and to score 17 points. Being efficient, CP, 3 of 6 from 3.
Another one.
I'll give him a 9.
Another one. I'll give him a 9 as well, man. They I don't think they win this game without him. They're in a battle for their life. They down by 12 points. Comes in the game, scores 13 points. And like I said earlier, people were complaining over the years, he's stuck in the corner. Now you don't want him out the corner because he's shooting the ball so well from 3. And you talked about the confidence that he's shooting the ball from. He literally took damn near a Steph Curry range 3-pointer. Now, it was off the mark, but I think that shows you his confidence. He's not taking that shot last year, or definitely not his rookie year. He's definitely not taking that shot. So he's feeling it right now, and he was trying to deliver for his team at that point. But give him credit, man. Give him credit. He definitely did his thing out there. And again, on the other side, I thought he played a commendable enough defense. He was commendable on the defensive end with him and Julius back there in the front court. I got to give him a 9, man. 13 points, 3-6 from downtown. Another efficient night. He's the most efficient player on this team, hands down.
That's crazy.
And yeah.
He keeps answering the bell. I think that's, again, the thing that surprised me the most, CP, is the argument that we were making for him last year is the fact that you got to give a player like that more minutes, right? Like you got to give him more minutes because you're not going to see the impact until you give him 30. And I want him to get like that's I'm frustrated that he hasn't gotten more than 20 minutes. Right? Tonight he hit 20-minute mark. Like that's
20-minute mark.
I'm frustrated that our conversation has to be that the 20-minute mark is the mark of conversation. However, with the circumstances that he has in front of him, I'm more impressed at him making the development of impacting and producing in the same amount of minutes, if not less, than he got last season.
Yeah.
So he's learned to impact and find a way to contribute under the same circumstances that he had last season. And I think for that, he deserves a lot of credit.
No doubt, man. Well said. Throw your Obi ratings in the chat. And remember, go to KnicksFanTV.com tomorrow, meaning Saturday, to check out KnicksFanTV Remy's full game recap and play ratings for every player in the game. It's really a good one, so make sure that you guys don't miss it. All right, we'll take a couple more, and then we'll wrap up. I got Bryn Gerald on the Discord waiting, so we'll get back to him. And let's go back to Puerto Rico. So Eddy heard Jose. Now Eddy wants to jump in the action. Eddy, what's going on?
Maybe that's Jose again.
Might be.
How you people doing, man? Thank you for your program.
Thank you,
Great
man.
For Knicks fans.
Absolutely.
I'm calling because what Jose said. I see it, but at the same time, I see that it's a process. You know, I mean, it's and in this process, we have a good young nucleus, but I understand that we're not gonna win the ring this year, man.
Yeah.
And the worst thing that
sure.
we can do would be not to win the ring and not to have a lottery pick, a shot at that 1 or 2 spot. It's gonna be deep with Henderson and that center from France.
Oh yeah, you want Victor?
Oh, Victor or Henderson?
Yeah.
You know, we're not gonna win the ring this year, and if we don't win the ring and we're not in that lottery, that would be the complete failure. So we need to be in the lottery. But not only with our pick, we need the youth to play. Obi, Grimes, Quickly, Deuce. Let them play. That means you have to trade Rose, Randle, Fournier, maybe even Robinson. And what you're looking for in a trade would be another lottery pick. You already have Detroit, Dallas, and Washington.
Yeah.
Hopefully, one of those, will turn out. Our own will turn out, and a trade for another lottery pick will turn out.
Well, I mean, that's the goal, Eddy, but, I mean, you also got to think, if you're ready to ship those guys packing, they're not going to be worth that much. So you're not going to get a lottery pick for those guys. If those guys were worth lottery picks, they'd be way more valuable to the Knicks than they are right now. So, but hey, if you watch Victor today, you could certainly dream. Kid is looking crazy.
Jeez. If that kid can just stay healthy, if those knees hold up. Because that's the concern.
Yeah. I mean, you guys know my feelings about those guys. Like, that's why I was all for the Magic skipping out on Chet and going from Banchero. I don't think we've seen it with KP. I don't think those guys are gonna hold up. How do you sell your team owner that you're gonna pass up on this unicorn? That's a hard bet. But I think even in this situation, if I got to get Scoot or Victor at the number 1 pick, I don't know. I'm not so sure it's a slam dunk. It's not based on his talents. The kid is out of this world. We've never seen anything like it. But you're going to tell me that you're going to trust him holding up on 82-game seasons year after year after year? That's a hard sell, bro. It's nice to look at. It's nice to dream. He looks like a guy that, you're going to create a player in 2K and just go crazy with the parameters.
No, yeah. Listen, you see it with these 7-foot guys, right? Robert Williams surgery.
Yeah.
You've seen it with Mitch.
Hey, we see you with Mitch tonight.
Miles Turner was a guy coming out that had a ton of potential. He's had multiple leg injuries and he's had a surgery already. You see where that's gone. You see KP, right? Like you see a lot of these modern day, because I think back in the old days, these guys were built different. So, and it was different skill sets. But
Different
now,
skill sets.
I mean, I guess the only guy that has been that size and has had a relatively healthy career, he still had an Achilles injury, is Kevin Durant.
And remember, he broke a bone in his foot too before that.
Right.
That fifth metatarsal, he broke a bone in his foot prior to that, a couple of years prior.
So that's the concern with these 7-foot guys, is it's not their skill set, it's what happens after they get that first, lower leg injury, and he has to get a surgery to get it healthy. It's usually because of natural ability and just life, nature. You're a 7-foot guy, you get a surgery, you just naturally just slow down a little bit. And
yeah.
That takes away from in a league where literally you lose a step in this NBA, especially this NBA, more than any time ever. I feel like when you lose one step in this NBA, it's like you lost a lot. Because everybody today is so quick, fast. Everybody's bigger, stronger, faster in NBA and in the NFL that you need to be 100% all the time.
Like back in the day, when you think about the guys that was like 7'3" and over, your George Murasands, your Sean Bradleys, your Manu Bowles, so and so.
Rick Smits.
Your Rick Smits. Like, all right, now Smits had a little turnaround jump hook now. You know what I'm saying? He had a little turnaround jump hook. Who else? Mark Eaton. But, like, those guys aren't putting the ball on the floor from the perimeter and trying to shake it like that. That's evolution, man. That's crazy. You talk about George Murasan with shooting the ball from fadeaway like a Dirk, which is what this kid just did today. He's shooting the Dirk one-legged fadeaway from 3. Crazy, bro.
And even Dirk, Dirk didn't have handles.
Right.
Dirk was strictly just footwork, position, and he so his form was so high there's no way. It's like Rasheed Wallace, you can't block a shot. So, but he didn't have handles like this guy. It's insane.
It's crazy. And so that's why I'm like, man, like with all the pressure and like pounding on your feet, I don't know. That's
look at the Chet injury on that LeBron drive. It wasn't even that crazy.
It wasn't even that crazy.
Like LeBron just had a normal drive, and because of the contact, he's done.
Yeah,
that's the tricky thing with these guys, man.
Yep. Let's take a couple more.
But don't worry, we got Cam, guys. Don't worry,
we got Cam to solve all our problems. All right, let's take a couple more before we wrap. Cynthia, I see we're gonna close with Cynthia. Bryn Gerald on the Discord. Bryn Gerald, what's going on? Bryn Gerald going once. All right, you missed the show. All right, I'm going to load up Mel 27. Mel 27 will be the last on the Discord. And let's go to Sosa from Queens. Sosa, what's going on?
What's going on, fellas? Happy Friday.
Happy Friday, man.
It's good, JD. I've been a Knicks fan for like 30 years, bro, since 1993.
Mm-hmm.
So I suffered a long time. First time caller, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
I got a quick fix. I'm not gonna be like these other callers and say trade this guy, trade RJ, trade Randle, trade Fournier. We just signed all those guys, so it's gonna take draft picks to give up to trade Fournier or Randle. That's first off. First things first, the starting lineup. We saw Thibs was scared today and and he benched Fournier for the starting lineup. Okay, he started Grimes. Didn't have too much problem with that, even though we've got to bring him along slowly. Cool. The first major issue is Thibs is waiting to like 2 minutes left in the first quarter or 1 minute left in the first quarter to bring Obi in the game. That's his first issue. Obi's averaging about 14, 15 minutes this season. For the last 3 seasons, he's been averaging the same type of minutes. We can't expect him to develop like that. That's number one. Number two, Cam was in the game. I'm not jumping on the Cam high because he was in the game and he played well. No, it's just even if he has a bad offensive night and make stupid turnovers, he still changes the game defensively. His length alone, his athleticism alone changes out defensively. Even when he's on, like in the Memphis game when he started, it changed the game. It changed the starting lineup. You know what I'm saying? So then in the second half, Obi only had 6 minutes in the game. In the first half. Yeah, the first half. And Thibs waited till like late in the third quarter to bring him in.
Yeah, I got it.
Like, yeah. So by that time he only has 5-6 minutes in, so he's going cold.
Yeah.
So of course he's gonna be. You know what I'm saying? Of course he's gonna be cold. Same thing with Cam. It's like yes, Cam does make a lot of go ahead turnovers, but it's like because he feels like he's not gonna get the minutes to show what he's got. Okay. Like you gotta allow these guys to make the mistakes. You know what I'm saying? If that's the case, why draft Obi if you're not gonna use him more than 15 minutes? Like, it doesn't make sense.
Okay. Definitely appreciate the call, man. We got to go rapid fire, man, because the show's getting a little late, and we got another one tomorrow. So I want to make sure that this show is digestible for the people. Cynthia, let's go. Let's close it out.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, great. First, I have to tell about that caller Jose from Puerto Rico. That's my island. My parents are from there.
No
but
doubt.
Jose, you are wrong, my friend. You are wrong, because I think it's not like we have the old players that we couldn't draft during the Fizdale days. We have a little bit of promise. I'm not overhyping our players. There's definitely some that we can, get rid of and move on. But I don't think it's a junior league team, and I don't agree with him at all. I don't agree with him at all. Now, second, I agree with you, CP. I think that Thibs felt his butt getting warm today. Now, will Leon really do that? I don't know. But to me, I've been saying it even when Ashley was on the show. I remember she was shocked when I mentioned we got to get rid of Thibs. I'm sorry. I never wanted him in the first place. He was good that first year. He changed the culture. He got the guys to be disciplined. We needed that. We needed structure after all that we've been through with all the coaches. So let's give him props for that. He got Coach of the Year. Yeah. But the man cannot coach. I agree with JD. It's been template coaching. Today, like the fact that he brought in Cam, like way all the way into the fourth quarter, that's bad. And I was at one point wishing that, like, when it was looking rough for us and they were scoring all those points, the Sixers, I was saying, you know what? Yeah, maybe we should lose. If it means to get rid of Thibs, let's keep losing. I was going down that route because I don't want him here. And you guys made your points that maybe, if we bring in Bryan now, even in the interim, he still has those things. I agree with you. We got to make a decision with Randle and Fournier. Let's get them out of there. But I do think, guys, that if we had a more younger, up-to-the-times coach, the plays, the adjustments, that would all change, and we could actually maybe start winning more games. So I am on the Thibs go home hive,
Yeah.
And one question I have to ask you guys, because I know we want to end it short with tomorrow night. Have you noticed, and I noticed, listen, Brunson towards the end in the fourth quarter, I felt like he just does ISO for himself. Like, I didn't see him, and this is not just tonight. Maybe he felt like, okay, we got to win this game. We can't lose again. But I just been noticing for the past couple of games that Brunson is just like, he feels like he has to take over and doesn't necessarily look for other guys to make plays. I don't know if you guys noticed that. I don't know if you guys agree with me or not agree with me. I mean, I like Brunson. We finally got a point guard. I do get afraid of his height. I feel like I've been seeing now how all the teams are throwing the big guys on him. How does one resolve that? But I'm also was kind of concerned that I just see him going for his in the fourth quarter and not necessarily looking for others. And that's it, guys, because I know you want to keep it short. Love y'all.
Okay. Appreciate the call, Cynthia. Definitely appreciate it.
I know that hurt your CAA ties.
What?
I felt you were like, yeah, the Thibs thing, CAA. I know. But hey, when you look at Brian Dable and Joe Shane going young, it's not hurting the Giants. Well, I'm just saying. Going modern. I think
it's needed. It's needed on this team. I just think it's a little bit trickier. More so on the Julius front. The Fournier and Rose, I don't really see a problem with them not playing them as much or even trading them. But I think Julius is a tougher play. So and then on the Brunson thing, is he hunting his offense? I mean, he had 7 dimes tonight. I'd rather the ball be in his hands. Yes, I want to see him play make for sure, but I'm okay with him looking for his shot in these moments because I
Where else are we gonna go?
Yeah, I don't trust RJ. I don't trust Julius in those big spots. So, I don't necessarily mind Brunson going for it.
I think it could be different for us because we haven't had that type of player. Brunson's the closest thing we've had to that, like what other teams would have as that superstar fourth quarter, last 2-3 minutes ISO player. Because one of the things that we have to be honest here is when you look at these other games, you look at the Dallas Mavericks game with Luka Doncic, you look at the Lakers, LeBron or Kevin Durant or even Giannis. Like when the game gets close and it's 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 2 minutes, these guys are going to the top players, and a lot of it becomes really ISO basketball. The problem is when Julius Randle's the one that's doing the ISO basketball, it's not a pretty sight.
Yeah.
And Brunson has that ability to, although it could become a little bit ISO one-on-one play, he can still create a good play out of it.
Right.
And I think for him now, he's trying to carry the lead of, I came here to close these games. You've seen it a couple times already against the Hornets where he's hit some big shots. And I think he's trying to weather the pressure. And so early on, you may see him try to close games more. Maybe towards the mid and end of the season, you'll see more of a team aspect when we see what this team actually is going to look like. But I think he is shouldering some of this pressure and some of this burden. So when you have a close game, you're going to probably see a lot of it being decided in the hands of Jalen Brunson.
True indeed, man. And great show, everybody. Knicks win once again, 106-104. Shout out to KnicksFanTV Edgar. He hit me on the backstage and said there was a caller that we were trying to get to, and I didn't get this message till late. So there was a caller at the game who claims that he saw Obi and Rick Brunson getting into it on the bench in the second half during the timeout. He said that Julius had to separate Obi from the situation, and that looks like Obi was heated there. So, all right, yeah, listen, man, it happens. These things happen. This is the NBA, man. It is pressure cooker situation.
That it's Rick Brunson.
It is
because I've heard some things.
It is, man. So, well, look, man. Disagreements happen. Players, coaches, it happens all the time. But I would have been interesting to hear the fans' perspective that was there. But I guess he was waiting too long and he hung up. So. That was from
Rick Brunson. You better tread lightly because Obi is a fan favorite here.
Yeah, certainly is, man. So, listen, man, tempers will flare up when you're losing and you're trying to win a game. So
Obi's confident, CP. He's shooting threes from the concession stands. He's fighting with Rick Brunson.
Yeah. That's the confidence, man.
That boy different this year.
That's the confidence, man. So, interesting. Events. Okay, shout out to K Marco, $10 super chats. He says salute, free Obi. Okay, $10 super chat from K Marco. Salute to Hoodies Vintage, $5 super chat. Says Cam and Ovi saved Thibs tonight. 6 minutes left before Cam plays. After that first half, Thibs' stubbornness is catching up to him. His seat is heating up. Shout out to the Rhyme Animal Chuck D, $40 super chat. He says he was lecturing in Alabama. Glad I found a gift. Rap, win, go off stage, nothing matters but the W. Driving I-20 to Atlanta, KFTV, let's go. Made my drive. Safe travels, Chuck. Chuck was down south getting it in. Shout out Willie Cruz. Says tomorrow Thibs will need to bring up the G League. Baby Ramos says, what's your opinion on Obi and Brunson Pop arguing? Okay, so I guess maybe it was him? Or was this on TV or something?
We just got a super chat.
Somebody sent his Baby Ramos sent a super chat on it. So I don't know if this was, maybe he got the discussion somewhere, or maybe he was there also. I mean, without seeing it or hearing what happened, there's no way to know. But at the end of the day,
somebody saw something and you recorded it, send it to.
Yeah, if you did record it, send it to KnicksFanTV. But in general terms, like arguments and heated incidents with teams is very common. It's nothing to, draw any type of conclusions from. Oh, they said someone got the footage? Is this on Twitter? Look on Twitter while I go through these.
Well, he said someone get the footage.
Oh, someone get the footage, Julian. Look on.
I'll still look.
Okay. All right. Forget it. I don't even want to expand on this. Jeremy Maynard says Obi and Randle played together and the Earth stayed on his axis. By the way, we won. Troy Davis says if Duncan Robinson could be benched with his bag, then Fournier should be toast, and Obi only got 20 because of the injury, just like with Grimes last year. Fire Thibs. Shout out Got You Open. Shout out 0031 says Thibs looked at the tape. It's labeled Johnny Bryan strategies. Ish Power says Obi should start Barrett to shooting guard. What y'all think? I don't think that's happening. Willie Cruz says Randle, Fournier, D Rose, and Thibs out of here. Deuce should be playing. Sale NYC says Knicks was down 81-91 in the fourth. Cam started the 10-2 run. That's what got us back in the game. Cam needs to start. He plays better with the starters. Kenny Gale says, wow, Cam and Obi contributed to winning games. Lineup and substitution changes not making us stagnant, almost as if fans has been watching film. Okay. Someone just texted me and said, I was at the game in Philly. Randle did calm Obi down. So that's a second person. Confirmation. So okay, there's a little skirmish on the bench. And between Obi and Rick Brunson. Okay. Brandon.
I'll let you know later.
Yeah. Brandon Guest says, I noticed the assistants, maybe Johnny B, quarterbacking the rotation in the second half. I hope Thibs keeps the trust moving forward. That closing lineup was fire. Brandon Lamonaco, shout out Brandon. He says, salute to the team. We need a coach that maximizes the little talent we have, and Thibs ain't it. Obi starting to make him look foolish. Okay. All right, man. So that is that. And also
give me your prediction for tomorrow. I mean, we don't have a chance to give a little quick prediction. It's gonna happen in a few hours anyways.
Prediction for tomorrow.
What time do you play?
I think it's 7:30. 7:30 game. They played 7 tonight, so 7:30.
Yes, it is on NBA TV.
NBA TV tomorrow night.
Celtics are 5-3.
Knicks 4-4. We ain't scared of these guys, man. We always play these guys tough. Brogdon dropped 25 off the bench tonight. Interesting. We ain't scared of these guys, man. I'm giving me Knicks 110 to 106 Celtics, man. Yeah, let's go.
So the Thibs hot seat cools down.
Yeah,
tomorrow night.
Back at it, man.
Listen, to me it's simple, man. If you play Cam tomorrow, you're gonna win. So
yeah,
if you don't play Cam, it's not gonna look too pretty. So play Cam 15 minutes or more, and I see the Knicks winning tomorrow. I'm gonna go 106, 101.
Edgar says Steve Angelovich on Twitter said Obi got into it big time with Rick Brunson. Okay. All right, so we got confirmation all over the place. A little skirmish happened on the bench. Okay. All right, guys, remember that this show is available in audio podcast format, all the major podcast formats as well. Also, manscaped.com/KFTV for 20% off plus free shipping. Great show. Nice win. We out of here. Peace.